Welcome, class, to section 3.4, finding the median line by hand. Prior to watching today's lesson, if you would like, please print out the document that I have on the wiki right next to the link for this video, and that way you can follow along at your desk or wherever you are watching this video. What we're going to do first to find the median line by hand is take the data and split it into three groups. That's step one. To split the data into three groups, note that we have 10 items, so we need to split them up evenly with the two groups on the end, group 1 and group 3, being balanced. So to split up 10 items, we should split it like this. So we'll have 3 items in group 3, 3 items in group 1, and 4 items in the middle in group 2. All right, so now that we've done that, we can move on to the next step. Finding M1, M2, and M3. So we have group 1, group 2, and group 3. To find M1, we're going to need to find its x and y coordinates. For its x coordinate, we should have the data items in order, from left to right. And what you want to see is 1, 2, 3, find the number in the middle. 2 would be the x coordinate, which is in the middle for group 1. Let's go ahead and move on to group 2 and find its x coordinate. The x's are typically a little bit easier than the y coordinate. For group 2, note that we have, moving from left to right, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no true middle here because we have 4 items. So the middle will be the average of these two numbers in the middle, 5 and 6. The average of 5 and 6 is 5.5. So that is M2. M2's x coordinate. We'll find its y in a moment. For M3, it's 9. It's the number in the middle when reading from left to right. 9. For the y coordinates, you have to be sure that within each subgroup, group 1, group 2, and group 3, the y coordinates are in order. You can see here as we read from left to right, these are out of order. Let's rearrange them so that they are in order. 18, 24, and 34. Now that they are in order, we can see that the middle y coordinate is 24. So M1 is going to be 2, 24. Next, we're going to move from left to right and find the y coordinate that's in the middle. We want to make sure that they're in order, and they are 25, 44, 50, and 61. Now again, just like the x coordinate for group 2, we need to find the average of the two numbers in the middle, 44 and 50. The average of 44 and 50 is 47, so that's going to be our y coordinate for M2. Finally, point M3 will be the middle y coordinate in group 3. As we read from left to right, we are in order, 60, 70, and 72, so the middle y coordinate is 70.
Did you want that over there?
Recording. I'm video recording right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sorry, that was just a little interruption there. Let's move on. So we have 70, the middle y coordinate, and we're good. We have M1, M2, and M3. On the graph, if you plotted these points, you would see that M1 would be a point in the middle of the first 3 points, and if you looked at the scatter plot, M2 would be a point in the middle of the middle 4 points, and M3 would be a point in the middle of the last group of points. Okay, moving on. We're going to use M1, M2, and M3 in order to do the next step. I'll show you the next step in a moment. Let me just copy these so I can slide them over to our next slide. All right, there they are. Grab them. Bear with me for a moment. We're going to grab those points, slide them over to slide 3. And here we go. Zoom out a tick so we can see our points. We have M1, M2, and M3. What we need to do at this time is find the slope of the line that would connect M1 to M3 on the graph. This will be the slope of the median line. So we're going to ignore M2 for the purposes of step 3, which is to find the slope of the median line. The median line Its slope will solely depend on M1 and M3. So let's take a look at M1 and M3 and find the slope of the line that would connect those 2 points. In our class, we call our slope B, and it's found by doing the change in y, 70 minus 24, divided by 9 minus 2. Change in y over change in x. So the slope is going to be 46 divided by 7, and that slope comes out to be, on the calculator, approximately 6.571. Now my calculator actually says, let's just check here, 6.571428.571. Let's write that down actually. 6.571428.571. 28571. Just to get the most exact number that we can for the slope, because we want to see how this compares to the calculator's version of the median line. And the calculator does no rounding until the very end. So if you find yourself rounding numbers as this process goes through, your median line by hand might slightly differ from the calculator's median line by hand. All right? Something to consider if you're wondering why they're slightly off. Moving on to step 4, come back in a little bit. For step 4, use point-slope form to find 3 different equations. What I'm going to do at this time is let me import those 3 points again. Let's just copy them, come back over to the next page. Let's go ahead and paste them in there. Okay, so our points are back, M1, M2, and M3. We're also going to want to go back and import the slope. Let's see what I can grab there. 6.57. Let's get this guy grouped together. And let's slide that guy over to the next page. Oh boy. There we go. So we're on page 5. Just kidding, we're on page 4. All right, everybody, sorry for the little momentary lapse of organization. There we go. We have our slope, which is the king up there at the top, 6.571428.571. And we have our 3 points, M1, M2, and M3. What we're going to do is we are going to find the point-slope equation of 3 times. We're going to use M1, M2, and M3. So let's see what we have here. Let's pick a new color. Let's see if the good old red marker shows up okay for you. Yeah, not too bad. Remember, we have y equaling y1 plus b times x minus x1. That's our point-slope form of a line. We're going to use that formula to find our 3 equations. So for M1, we're going to say y equals 24 plus our b, 6.571 times x minus the x that goes with M1 is b. Next we have y equaling, this is our second equation, 47 plus 6.571. I'm rounding for now. I will explain a little bit later that I'm going to use the full version in this little bubble cloud up here. I'm going to use that full version in a minute when I go to expand these 3 equations. X minus 5.5 is our middle equation. And then finally we have 2, and this guy y1. Our y3 is going to take the y value 70 plus 6. 3 equations, all with different points being used, but all using the same slope. So we used point-slope form to find 3 equations. Next, what we need to do is we're going to average those 3 equations. Actually, we're going to expand them all and we're going to distribute the 6.57. You've seen me do this before, I hope. We're going to distribute that 6.571 and then combine like terms with 24 and the number that you get. Distribute 6.571 and then combine like terms with the constant on the end and the 47. In equation 3, distribute the 6.571 and then combine like terms to get 3 equations with 3 unknowns. 3 equations with 3 different y-intercepts. What we're going to find is those different y-intercepts will only differ slightly. 2 of them may actually be exactly the same. Now, when you go, one other thing to talk about here. When you go to distribute this 6.571, please use the entire version, 6.5714 blah, blah, blah. Use that entire number to distribute through so that you can get as close as possible to what the calculator is doing. After expanding, and you could pause for a moment and go ahead and work that out and come back to me. After expanding those, what you should get is a y1 of 10.857 plus 6.571x. A y2 of 10.857 plus 6.571x. Boy, my data is pretty good here. Y3, 10.857 plus 6.571x. Normally, these y-intercepts won't all be this close together. How close are these? Well, they're exactly the same. We have 10.857 as the y-intercept. Normally, they'll be slightly different, and you'll average them together to get the y-intercept of the median. That's what you're going to do on the take-home quiz. All right? But what we can do now is take this equation, which is y equals 10.857 plus 6.571x, and compare it to the calculator. So let's bring our old calculator over. You can see that I already have in my lists my two. You can go ahead and do this now. Go ahead and enter list 1 and list 2 and see what you get. When you go to a blank screen and press stat, calc, median. Bam. Just kidding. Clear. Try again. Stat, calc, median. There we go. Y equals ax plus b. Remember, on the calculator, they give a as the slope and b as the y-intercept. 6.571, 10.857. Sound familiar? Hello, there they are right there. So that's what the calculator's doing in a matter of milliseconds. It took us about, 13 minutes to do that process. Now you know why smart people all over the world helped to program these calculators for us to do some of the work. But that's the behind-the-scenes look at what the median line is and how it's found. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you with your homework and your take-home quiz. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.